welcome to the weekly RFOX AMA, everyone. I'm Lenny Clifford here with the co-founder and CEO, Benny Fairbank. How are you today, Benny? It's pretty early where you are right now.
Yeah, it's 5 a.m., but I'm very well. And yourself?
I'm doing great here over in Sydney and exciting times. It's all happening. We're in Q2 already and a big quarter for RFOX. There's loads on. There's the Vault closed beta MVP date locked in, and yeah, a lot to look at on the roadmap too. But let's start with the Vault on the 27th of April. As it's launched, what will the RFOX team be concentrating on?
Yeah, so as this launches, we're really happy that we can get a product to market. Is it's all about function. So forms to come, and we're starting to spoil right now what the form will look like. So what you see when you come in right now is completely different to what you're going to see over the coming months and years. What we're doing is we're very much focused on saying, okay, let's get a VR environment up and running. Let's get this function happening. And as we know, when you're coupling together a lot of stuff like different platforms, Unity and gaming mechanisms, and you've got blockchain integrations, it's all about the testing of that functionality and making sure it's a smooth process and making sure that we can get it smoother as we go. So we'll have a limited number of people coming in, and then what we'll do is we'll start to really accelerate that adoption, and then you'll start to see the structures change, and we'll head towards what we're showing you right now is the final product.
Yeah, cool. And the community's pumped for this. So a lot of people want to get involved, and I see that the invites are open to the wider blockchain community to get access later this week. And where do they go to express interest?
Yeah, so follow the social channels because we're doing the registrations now. The questions that we are getting are what's it going to be a mix of, who's going to be allowed to get in there. So what we do is we say fill out the registration. So follow the social channels. It'll be in all of the socials, and we will advise you whether you are able to or whether you have been successful in getting in or not. The real focus for us is to get a bit of diversity and get a group of people in there that are going to give us some great feedback. So what's really important is if you do manage to get a spot and you do manage to come in, please make sure that you take the time to give us some feedback. That's very important.
Okay, great. And now just getting to that time of launch for the MVP, the marquee brands in the Callinova, there's Icon partnership and there's also the Chasing Space exhibition. So looking at the Icon partnership, this is where we'll start seeing its community and customers hosting meetups, and it will display its product offerings within the RFOX Vault. Will this happen in the first few weeks, or is it down the track?
Yeah, so the basic functionality of the MVP is going to be relatively limited. It'll be some purchases, and it'll obviously be the chance for people to walk around and have a look at what the visuals look like. It'll happen. We'll start working with all of these people from day one, of course, but it'll take a while before we start to get to the level of concerts and entertainment and all the rest of it's going to take some time. So this is just about basic function, getting the product to open up and to get people using it. So that will come very quickly, and we'll work closely with those partners to make sure that they help us to expedite those the full range of services.
Yeah, sure will. Very exciting. And you did mention events and concerts and activations, they'll come later. But for launch day and launch week, what surprises are you working on?
Yeah, so what we want to do, we can't really talk about all of it, but we want to get some people that are well known to come in there, obviously, and give you their 2 cents worth. And we want to also do some live things in there so that people can actually see how the interactions take place in real time. But I think as we've talked about for longer term, we'll replace avatars with avatars that we produce on our own system. We're moving very quickly to make sure that this whole environment is very much built by us, so that we've got the ability to know that we've got control of those platforms in the sense that we're not relying on third parties to make changes or integration and stuff like that. But we are working very heavily also on making sure that other people can click in, and we can establish that creator economy sooner rather than later as well. But in the first week or two, there'll be lots of beams, interviews, and live things happening.
All right, looking forward to that. And this has been in the making for a long time, and we've also seen recently that the NFT market size was nearly $25 billion in 2021, and we can see a few sources are estimating that it could be around 80 billion in 2025. So given that growth and demand to have a metaverse presence, there must be some brands that are NFT first timers making an appearance into the Callinova shops.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that there's a combination. You've got your brands that are coming in that are first time to the space, but you've also got a lot of people that have been born in this space, so to speak, and they're building their brands from this space. And to be honest, they're moving faster. They're innovating quicker. They're setting themselves up quicker. But that combination is going to be really good. I can't wait to see the combination of established known brands side by side with emerging metaverse brands. It's going to be a very interesting mix for sure and certain, because I think that's also a lot different tack than a lot of the others have taken. I mean, you've got some that have just unknown brands, and you've got some that have just known brands. So to get this mixture at the sort of level that we're getting it mixed at, it's going to be very exciting.
Sure will be. And on growth and brands transforming, is that the focus, getting brands in early in their journey and then supporting them with the products and services across the rest of the RFOX ecosystem with crypto, media services, DeFi, NFT marketplace, and the metaverse presence, of course?
Yeah, 100%. And I think that now it's really coming together, as far as if you have a look and say, if you've got art, you can create your own NFT collection. You can showcase it on a marketplace that you've created. You can create derivatives. They can be used in video games. You can actually have, you can stake tokens. You can offer tokens in farms and pools. You can actually stream and set up a channel to actually broadcast your latest updates. You can have social gifting. You can do NFTs based on the videos that you're bringing out. The possibilities are really endless, and I think that this is becoming much more of a one-stop shop for people, and that's the part that's very exciting. But for that to happen, the Vault has to go live, and we have to get TV out, which is coming, and just making sure that all those pieces click together for the people that are using it. But it's great. It's a chance for people not to have to go anywhere else, and I think a few of these companies we're talking to are starting to realize that now.
Okay, great. And let's look at the updated roadmap, because that just came out, and yeah, there's a lot of info in there, a lot of questions. What caught my eye was the MVP launch. It's followed later in the quarter with a ground up rebuild. So the new artwork revealed that showed what it might look like. What's the details there with the change in direction?
So what happened was, we were talking some time ago about saying that since Facebook and Fortnite and all of these brands had come in and said, we're building our own metaverse, and we're pumping in $1 billion over the next 5 years or 10 years, and $10 billion over the next 5 years for Facebook, we turned around and we said, what we built wasn't up to the level that it needed to be, considering all of these brands coming in and all of the money that they were spending. So we turned around and said, how do we really bring in some even more heavyweight designers, build an internal team, and make sure that we can head towards something that's going to be of AAA quality that can stand the test of time. So that was what we've been working on for the last 4 or 5 months. That's what the designs that you're seeing now are. And the MVP that you see come out is the kind of like, it's the sandbox of the what will be. So it is, some of the shop owners have been through, and we've had community members and headset winners go through, and you've been through yourself. That is very much a testing environment, and an environment that shows how the function works, which is what the MVP will be based on. And then we head towards that final state, which will be done in iteration. So we'll start iterating straight away. And that's why when we talk about ground build, rebuild, we're talking about the fact that all of the assets that you see in the MVP will be replaced with assets that look like the ones in the pictures that we're showing you now, starting to reveal now.
Okay, makes sense. Worth the wait. Those new designs are just spectacular. And towards the end of this quarter, I see there are new blockchains on the roadmap. So there's Matic, AVAX, and IMX. Are they locked in? And what are the specific opportunities through these chains RFOX is pursuing?
Yeah, so the platforms that we've built with the NFT white label platform, for example, that now has been set up since day one to aggregate multiple chains and to have an aggregation layer. So the EVMs and so the Ethereum virtual machine chains are easy to integrate. When I say easy, there's little alterations that have to be made. So it's going to be quite simple for us, and the process will be fast to integrate those. IMX is a little bit of a different beast, but it's we already have been working on that one for some time now. So anything that's an EVM layer 2, we can integrate very quickly. If you go outside of that and go into stuff like Polkadot, or you're going into things that have got a different tech base, then it's going to take a bit longer for us to integrate. But ultimately, everything is being looked at if it makes economic sense, and if the demand and the users are there, then we'll look at it for sure and certain. But those are the examples of the ones that we are buying off. We don't go out and say the names lightly, but the fact is that they are easily integratable to what we've built.
Okay, thanks. And then in Q3, we start to see some of the aspects of the new tokenomics in the vault, and that's the new avatars. So you recently said that you're building for the future, not for today. We've seen them evolve from just being plain avatars recently to, say, having a dead mouse head or a skin. And the utility of these RFOX avatars is one of the aspects that really moves them up a few levels. But how do you see avatars developing over the next few years?
Yeah, so if you look at profile picture NFT collections like Bored Apes, for example, they're a picture, right, a drawing. What you've then had is the second iteration, which was like what Fluff were doing with the rabbits or bunnies or whatever you want to call them, the rabbits, that had changeable backgrounds and changeable music. What we're looking at is working on these avatars starting off as the NFT collection and being fully upgradable. So you'll be able to change components. I don't want to give away too much, but components of the actual bodies, movements, add-ons that you can actually add to your avatar that is actually adding to your PFP. So it will mean that you can do upgrades, you can buy upgrades, means it's great if we do a partnership with someone. If it's clothing or music, we can actually bring that into an established PFP collection, and the flexibility of being able to completely change that and upgrade that, we believe is the way that it's headed for sure and certain. So it was worth the time and effort to put into to build this, and we've got an internal team doing all of the concept design for those avatars as well.
Okay, I'm sure you have a lot of great ideas on how they can be developed in future too. And also in Q4 on the roadmap, the apartments are added. And also I noticed the science and technology quarter has been named. So that's the first I've heard about a science and technology quarter. It was the mixed quarter before. What's the thinking behind that change?
Yeah, so we always said that it would be an open quarter or a mixed quarter, and we were kind of deliberating, and we did say that we needed to be open to sort of the flexibility, and we did see that art was an obvious one with PFPs and the way that art had worked through NFTs. Gaming was obvious as well. Music was the one that we saw was coming, where now you're starting to see a ton of music coming through NFTs and all the rest of it. We firmly believe that the data suggests that science and tech will be next for NFTs for sure. So that one, we already have all the designs for what that looks like and how that comes together, and very much looking forward to spoiling that. But as we spoil those pictures over the next weeks, you'll also see the apartments and how they fit together, and where they're positioned and the views they give you, and all the rest of it. But it's coming along really well, and it's very exciting to show you how that will all play out. And we've even got like roof shots that show you the apartments with the lights on at night time, and how they're positioned. And it's for us, we're now in our heads working towards these visuals, and now it's a matter of just making sure that we take everybody along with us.
Okay, exciting times, Benny. The world's seen some marvelous technological feats like the pyramids of Giza, the International Space Station, the Stratford Clock Tower in New Zealand, and of course now the blockchain and the metaverse. And RFOX is right in there playing a key part in that. We're all pumped, mate. So we better wrap it up now. Thanks, Benny. Thanks for getting up so early for this. Really appreciate your time. There's always so many questions, and it's hard to cover them all. But I guess there's more coming from you on the AMAs later this week on Discord, and everyone can get onto our socials to keep up to date with the developments. Anything else you wanted to mention before we finish?
I was just going to say, apologies, brains firing on two cylinders at 5 a.m. But hopefully that answers some of the questions. And yeah, on the AMAs, obviously at the end of the day, a lot more alert. So happy to answer any of the questions that you've got if you want to stop by the Discord calls on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Great. Cheers, Benny. Have a great week.
You too, mate. See ya.